Bandwidth for this podcast is brought to you by Ideate Software. Be sure to check out all of their great Revit applications designed to increase your productivity. Welcome back to BIMThoughts. You probably have just been listening and not realizing that we've taken 6 whole weeks off from podcasting. I know that's what you have to do in order to keep this live, special, and unique. I think that's what Carl says anyway. So Carl's back. Hi, Carl.
Carl's back. He's back. He's here.
He's back. Dana DeFilippi is back.
Hey, guys.
Hello, hello, hello. So, what the heck did you do on your summer vacation, Dana?
Oh, I did quite a bit, actually. I went to a bachelorette party and a wedding.
A bachelor in the same day?
No, actually, they were weeks apart.
They were weeks apart. Okay.
Luckily.
I had a bachelor party that was the day before the wedding once. That was
Really?
not
How was
good.
that?
I was very hungover.
Was it like the movie?
No, there wasn't any running around trying to find the groom on top of the building. He showed up on time, within budget.
Because you live in Vegas. That's like every day.
Oh, every day
you need a bachelorette party or bachelor party.
We're hungover every morning. You know, alcohol is like Tim Hortons here. Carl, what did you do?
I did stuff. I spent a little time in the world of virtual reality.
You did?
I did. I've spent enough time in it to say I know what it's like, but I've never really spent.
This isn't like Second Life or anything like that, is it?
No. Doing some actual work stuff, spending hours in the headset.
Really?
And when you're actually immersed in the environment, it makes a huge difference. Like it's cool to put on the headset and say, hey, look, I did this or did that, but when you truly sit down, stand up, go wherever you need to go, and put the headset on, you really do get sort of taken away. And when I really knew I was there, was after spending a couple hours of creating issues in the virtual environment. You gotta take a break. So I played a free game on the Oculus Rift S called Roller Coasters of the World, or something to that effect.
Really?
Epic Roller Coasters, like Epic the company.
Really?
And so when you go on the first roller coaster ride, this friendly little robot pops up and says, hey, some people have different reactions to being fully immersed in virtual reality. We're going to give you a helmet. And so they give you a virtual helmet that only lets you see like just a tiny bit, like blinders.
Oh.
And you get on the roller coaster, and that's fine. And then every time you go on the roller coaster, they make the opening a little bit bigger.
Oh my goodness!
Until you get to the point where I'm like, I literally felt sick. Like, okay, they take it back one step, and then that's as much as you see. So they clearly know how the process works. But it was it was pretty intense.
So who was our friends that was on the BIMThoughts? So had the cool virtual reality thing. And shame on me for not remembering.
Well, I know Dan was using it quite a bit, and there was, and then we had. Oh, you mean Johan with Arkeo?
Yeah, the new software stuff.
The Wild.
Yes.
The Wild.
And the Wild as well.
And the Wild. It would be cool. What I think would be cool is if you could have a virtual reality session where you draw on a piece of paper.
In what way?
Because when I walk around the office and see the charrettes and I see the people getting together about design stuff, they always have a sheet of paper on the table, and they're all drawing on it, looking at the set or looking at and it would be cool, and there probably is something like this, if you could actually draw on it with a pen, a virtual pen, so that everybody could, handwriting on the set.
And you can do that.
Yeah.
A couple of the apps that I was playing with, we were in VREX, as well as VR Collab, so 2 platforms for doing coordination inside of VR. But they both have the ability to hold multiple person meetings. So you can have people come into a meeting either in VR or on computer. But one of the cool things with both of them is that you can do annotation, so like make a markup. But you can choose whether you make the markup on a surface, so like pick a wall and put your feet on the side of the wall, or you can just write in empty space and it stays there. So you leave and come back and there's just, little notes. So you could literally in the charrette environment, you could write your notes on the wall beside the charrette and they would be there. They're part of the thing. And then you can also take the screenshots if you want to save it for.
But the challenge is you don't get that tactile feel of writing when you're writing on a virtual wall or writing on a virtual desk.
You could hold something in your hand.
I guess you'd have to.
Yep.
You'd have to figure out some way to do that, to have it. But maybe that's what the Microsoft one is for.
The AR, the HoloLens.
The HoloLens, so that you can.
On the 2.
Yeah, the HoloLens 2 or whatever they're on. Huh.
Well, and I think part of the thing that comes with that is when you're in the VR and you've got a setup with the little wands and all that sort of stuff. When you start seeing things like when they turn into your hands, when you see your hands, like it's crazy the way they scan your hands, and when you're looking at the little hand, it's your hand.
Oh.
So that takes you that next step. It takes you the next step in because it's when you're doing the writing and you see the hand, it's your hand that you see. So it kind of like tricks your mind into thinking that you're there, and that's the benefit of these new systems that have the inside out. So instead of setting up the cameras and detectors in a room, it's all in the headset. So you can see things, or you can just see the virtual reality or the actual reality. So we're getting into that. What's the term? XR, extended reality.
XR, extended reality. I haven't heard that one yet.
Yeah. So it's
that's new to me even.
Yeah.
I
think
it must be Canadian.
Yeah, it's kind of replacing the mixed reality because it covers everything.
Yeah. Huh. Cool.
I'm like looking now. There's so many headsets. Even PlayStation has their own headset that you can plug into the PlayStation 4 system.
Yep.
That's pretty intense.
Yeah, that new Facebook one looks cool, but it's Facebook. So what are they doing?
Yeah, the unfortunate thing, because I have the Oculus Rift S, great setup. It's tethered, so you get a little more horsepower. But because it's Oculus, which is owned by Facebook, you must sign into your Facebook account, otherwise you can't use the product.
Yeah,
which is a bit of a downside.
That is a bit of a downside, especially in gaming. It wouldn't be too bad, but in like real life work, I don't need Facebook knowing that stuff.
Well, some people don't have Facebook, so you're telling me like, you actually have to create a Facebook account specifically to use their product.
You do. You have to log into a Facebook account, otherwise it does not work.
You just create a fake Facebook, I guess.
But yeah, if you just like
Mom, can I use your Facebook account?
Nice.
Yeah, because I have a Facebook account, but I deleted everything on it.
Just for the purpose of saying you have one.
Yeah, so that nobody takes my name. And the only thing that was on it was the pictures of the giant thermometer in Baker.
Ah, the giant thermometer.
Yeah, the world's tallest thermometer, 134 feet high.
Ooh, that's a big thermometer.
Yeah, matches the highest recorded temperature in Death Valley.
Nice.
Yeah.
So what about you, Bill? What
did I do? I played golf, which I'm still not any good at, but that's okay. I'm learning how to play golf sober now. I'm getting a little bit better. And
it doesn't even seem fun.
I know. And then I worked a lot. I thought about starting some more YouTube videos, and then I got sidetracked on something else. I started driving around the desert in my Jeep. I have a new Jeep Wrangler that I explore the desert in, and I'm looking for petroglyphs, rock art, all sorts of different things out there in the wilderness. And then I decided to myself, that's what I said when I talked to myself, I'm going to bring a garbage bag with me from now on, and when I stop to rest and walk around and I see trash, I'm going to pick it up out there in the wild blue yonder.
Well, that's a good plan.
That is a good plan. So I filled up a couple garbage bags one day. That was fun. And then it's
don't know how to
amazing.
clap into my microphone without it sounding crazy.
I don't
I
either.
commend you, sir.
Yes, I am amazed how many balloons, Mylar balloons, there are out in the middle of the desert.
Oh, wow. That's actually not very surprising when you think about it.
Yeah, because people just let them go.
And all them
Either
cacti
on
get
purpose
caught up.
Yeah, it gets caught up in all sorts of things. Yeah. Now the old rubber balloons, the latex balloons, they seem to degrade and go away because I don't see many of those out there. Or maybe they just don't go as far. Who knows? But yeah, it's amazing how much crap and trash there is out there. Just from idiots, dickheads, as one YouTuber calls them.
So do you have like a dolly? Do you like take a dolly with you and like a pickup stick? Like one of those grabbers?
No, I have a 5-gallon bucket.
Oh, okay. So it's manageable. You can carry it.
Yeah, I have a 5-gallon bucket and garbage bags. And when the 5-gallon bucket is full and I feel like I am done picking up trash, I stop. And then if I decide I want to go back to that spot and do it again, I go back out and do it again. Like there's one spot where I've done it like twice. But yeah, that's what I've been doing the last 6 weeks is work and playing out in the dirt, getting dirty.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned golf. I've been I wouldn't say a golfer, but I've played golf for many years. But I just started taking lessons this summer.
Oh my goodness.
Me and my wife and another couple friend of ours decided we would take some lessons, and it's been humbling.
Yes. Are you hitting the ball any better or hitting it worse now?
Yes.
Yeah, me too.
The tips are very helpful. They make sense, but of course, after 20 some years of hitting it very wrong, changing it is very hard.
Yes, it is. I have learned to play with my slice.
Well, and that's it. Once you've learned that, so you make changes to adjust for that. When you start doing it right, big air quotes here, it throws everything out of whack, including your back usually.
Oh yeah. I learned again on golf because I play with the hybrid clubs now because I'm an old man and that's what old men do. Is the smoother you hit them, the farther the ball goes.
Yep.
As opposed to the faster you swing and the harder you hit them, the farther the ball goes.
That was one of the first things that we've got a lady from the LPGA tour that's doing our training or was on it or whatever, and that's the first thing she said. You don't get up there and try to kill the ball. It's easy up, slow and smooth down, and let the club do the work.
Let the club do the work. That's why golf is an old man's game.
Well, that's exactly it. You see all the people out there, all the different ages, but once you take your time, you should get better results. Shorten just straight.
It's better to hit 2 150-yard shots really well than hitting a good 200-yard shot and then screwing up the 100.
Well, and that's my other problem is, there's the driving, there's the mid-range, and then there's the approach or the short game. Never do I have all three good, usually just one. So if I'm doing one good, the rest all suck.
When you do all three, that's when you become a PGA pro. That's the difference.
I would like to do all three just on one hole.
It reminds me of Billy Madison.
Yeah.
When he just goes out there and whacks the heck out of it.
Right. Hockey Price is style. Wrong, Bob.
Exactly.
Yeah, just whacks the heck out of it. Yeah, golf is it's fun. It's frustrating, but when you get 2 out of 3 of those right, Carl, you've had the best game of your life.
That can happen. I've on occasion had 2 out of 3 good on a hole. Maybe even on a couple holes, but
it only takes one good shot to make you come back next week.
Yep.
Did you get a hole in one yet?
Oh gosh, no.
Oh.
I'm trying to think. I've got a couple birdies, and I'm not even sure if I've got a birdie in a par 3. which would be my closest to
a hole-in-one.
Yeah, par threes are my nemesis.
Really?
Yeah. Because my short game's the worst.
Do you guys have Top Golf near you? You ever heard of Top Golf?
Yeah, we do. I've never been.
No? It's really fun. Carl, you've ever been?
I've heard of it. I've seen it in Vegas, but I don't think there's any here in the Great White North yet.
So there's like 3 of them, I feel like, in the Washington, D.C. area. I feel like 1 or 2 of them are actually closing down. But regardless, it is a blast. You go out and they have these, it's kind of like it is a driving range, but you can play different games, so they have, King of the Hill, and, you try to hit it into different ranges or just hit it as far as you can or what have you.
Wow.
And it's basically going to the driving range, but it's gamified.
It's gamified.
Yeah. And they also have like servers and food and
life is
drinks.
Good.
Yeah. They also, in addition to heaters and fans and the covered areas and all of that. So it's a really great time.
That's cool. I'll have to go try that out.
Yeah, that does sound cool. Like rock and bowling, except for golf.
Yeah.
Right. Boy, looking at the pictures of that place, that is something they had to draw in BIM in order to get that right. There's no way you could do that in 2D.
Well, I have actually been trying even with the summer months and weddings and helping my friend with her wedding and all of this, very diligently posting every Friday to my Danamo BIM YouTube channel.
It's great.
So that is definitely something personally made as a priority. So you're welcome to all of you out there. And thank you to all of you who have subscribed. I'm up to over 1,200 subscribers.
That's great.
That is amazing.
I'm just happy
wonderful.
To, teach the community, really.
Yeah.
Gotta make everybody doing Danamo.
Right. Absolutely. I saw where Carl is learning JavaScript.
I'm attempting.
You're attempting the JavaScript.
Yep.
I'm learning SQL every day. And Python.
Nice.
I'm getting better at Python. I'm starting to like Python.
I never got into Python.
Yeah,
I think I got C Sharp.
C Sharp. Never got into C Sharp.
Yeah, so Python was different, and JavaScript I like JavaScript because it's easier is the wrong word, but the syntax makes sense to me. It just seems to make more sense.
It's a little bit more forgiving.
Yeah, and maybe because it's the third language I've tried, I just a few things have sunk in.
Yeah, Python is not forgiving when it comes to syntax at all. I mean, even down to spaces and tabs, it gets mad when you mix them, which is get over it, Python. Yeah. Then in PHP, I like PHP the best, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how about you, Dana? How's your Python journey coming?
Well, I can't say that I'm starting to love it like Bill. I would say it's very much the opposite. I actually haven't really been devoting very much time to learning Python as much as I should.
Yeah.
But there's definitely, I've been, keeping at my list for sure of things that Python would improve with the API experience.
Right.
But I would really like to get back into Python. Maybe even take a course of sorts.
A course of
guided sorts that I could actually follow and all that. But we'll see. It seems like to me that the conference season is coming up.
Yes.
That for anybody who's a presenter knows these months leading up to the conferences are very hectic, right? Trying to make those presentations perfect.
So are you doing the speaking at all in the AUs or the other U's or the other A's?
No.
But
only because I'm trying to devote so much time to the Danamo BIMs.
To the Danamo BIM, to the YouTubes.
Exactly. Trying to the YouTubes and
the
community that I've started. I feel like I am responsible to them to create content for them. So
you are responsible.
But I know Carl, he is usually the type that takes on quite a few presentations with every conference.
Yeah, how many did you submit to AU this year?
8, but I got none. This is the first time I haven't spoken.
What?
What?
What is wrong with them?
What?
No AU.
Contact
no.
them?
Nobody must like Format.
I don't know. It's just
Format.
Different.
Where did that even come from?
That's what Carl usually speaks on.
You name it, I speak on it. But yeah,
exactly.
It's much more.
On everything.
Well, I think they're doing a lot less sessions this year because it's virtual.
Oh, are they?
And with being at BIMThoughts now, my topics are more
pointed.
Well, more pointed. Plus, they're not doing labs again because it's virtual. So the technical stuff is more of my my bread and butter. But
now, didn't they go ape poo last year when it went virtual and had way too many sessions?
Yes, which is why I think they went to less sessions.
Direction.
Yeah,
less is more or less.
Yeah.
More or less.
More or less.
More or less, yeah.
Yeah. I hope that. Well, we'll see how that works.
How do you feel the online/virtual conference experience is going? Even with just guided sessions where you hear online like, hey, join us on for our user group, or whatever it might be. Like, how do you think those things are holding on? Just out of curiosity, just putting it out there.
I think it depends. I know that I've had my share of virtual.
Yeah.
I'm ready to get back to the real deal.
I think they're well registered, but poorly attended.
I agree.
Because everybody's like, I can just listen to the recorded thing afterwards.
Or you say, okay, I'm going to sign up for this. I'm going to sign up for all my classes. I'll get it on my calendar. And then it comes to class time and you go, I really got to get this done instead.
Yep.
And you don't attend the class. And then you never, ever listen to the recording.
No.
I mean, how many meetings have we recorded during COVID? And never, I'm sorry, it's probably easier to say how many meetings have you recorded and rewatched?
Minimal.
I think I could probably.
You're a big note taker, right?
I'm a note taker.
Like when you're in those sessions, I see you over there. You print out I guess you started to do on the iPad thing, right?
I did the iPad thing.
Yeah, so you'd have your iPad out, you'd have your presentation slides and all that good stuff, and I remember in the margins, right?
But you know what? I never look at those notes. Never look at them again. But you know what? I remember it better.
That's true, right? Writing it down kind of locks it into.
It locks it in. I remember it a lot better. If I didn't write the notes, I wouldn't remember as much about all of that stuff. So, like what I do, my big note workflow now is we have LPA, one of the best firms ever. They recycle their prints. So all of the prints that don't make it out, instead of throwing away or recycling the paper, they make notepads out of them. And so they have spiral bound notepads of like 4 different sizes that you can choose from. And one of the size I use is, let me get my ruler, my Helix non-skid made in the USA flexible stainless steel ruler. Is the one I use is 5 by 8, where the spiral bound is on the top. So now that you know what I write on, and I write in pencil, and I use that as my notepad. And then I use an app called Scanner Pro. And with Scanner Pro, I scan the note and put it into OneNote. Then I can find it later. Because I have worked from home for a number of years, even before this great time that we're in now. And I had to scan my notes because I would forget my notes when I went to Irvine. So I'd fly to Irvine, get my notebook out, it's not there. Then I don't have my notes, but now I scan them all And so now I just bring up one note, and there's all my other notes. And it does a pretty good job at handwriting recognition, which is quite surprising. So I can search my notes as well. So that's my workflow.
I feel like it's actually a pretty big game changer, especially in the virtual world. Like, we're always trying to make sure everything is categorized and tagged and all of this, right? And I mean, I take notes mostly to just do lists at work to prioritize my time. So it's not necessarily ever something if I look back at it in a year, I'd be like, what the heck does all of this mean? Right? It's like a lot of shorthand, and I know what it means that week.
Right.
But yeah, like those types of things, notes, and even handouts, those types of things that you're getting, presentation material, if you will.
Right.
Articles you read. It's nice to be able to kind of file those away.
Right.
Do you sketch, Bill? Are you a sketcher?
Do I sketch?
Of sorts.
I don't sketch as well as I would like it to look, but yeah, I sketch every now and then.
Yeah.
But I sketch working drawings for things I want to make to print with my 3D printer.
Oh, I see. What, like, mostly for your little cars and other things?
For little car, like today, I printed out I spent all of 5 minutes to create a umbrella extension for my golf walking cart, because when I put the umbrella on it to protect me from the shade, it's too short by about 3 inches. So I made an extension and printed it out, and now it's drying, and I will have a 3-inch taller umbrella holder for my golf cart. And so I sketched that out on paper and then drew it in AutoCAD, and then STL'd it out and printed it on the Ender printer.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And like a pretty cool thing of utilizing BIM to come to actual real life, be productive in something that you actually use.
Right, because now I'm at the point now for printing and everything's all set up. I can crank out that little thing to print out the extension in 10 minutes. I've got the printer started and printing, and then I let it run for however long it's going to run. I think it took 4 or 5 hours to print this one. And when it got done, it was done.
So yeah. One of the biggest things that I've done this summer, and I actually should say my dad has done, is built a giant fire pit in my backyard.
Goodness.
Yes. I actually convinced him that he deserves an excavator. So he bought one of those.
Yes.
And he
never can have too many of those.
Yes. He dug like a 12 by 12-foot hole that we built some masonry walls inside of. And we're about to put some pavers into.
Look at that.
Did the concrete footing and drainage and all of this other stuff. He really wowed me.
He went excavating. He got himself a real Tonka.
He did.
He did. Is it yellow?
He's got a truck. No, it's red.
It's red. So what's he digging next?
I don't know. I might have to get a pool next to it.
He might just go out to the nursery and get trees now, because just to dig a hole to plant them.
Why not?
It's like, oh, I don't even like where that one looks, so I'm going to put it in a different spot and dig another hole.
But I did build it in Revit, mostly for stone, block count.
Oh, yeah?
Because it's very expensive to buy.
It is expensive to buy pavers.
Well, and even, the stone walls, I got split face masonry.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's very expensive.
It is expensive.
And the, capstone with the bullnose edge, so your knees don't get hurt in the backside and all that.
Yeah.
You gotta do it right if you're gonna do it.
I remember when I was young and did that stuff in the backyard. Yeah, it wasn't a project until your third trip to Home Depot. In the same day. Yeah, it still isn't a project until you had 3 trips to Home Depot.
True story.
Yeah, usually the third trip is return the stuff you overbought on the second trip because you got tired of of not buying enough on the first.
Well, that probably kept you from having to go a fourth or fifth time.
Right. So you go your first trip just to buy what you think, and then you come back and buy 3 times as much as you need to finish, and then return the rest.
Well, Carl, I think you should close it out for us because we're about at an Aubin.
We are at an Aubin already.
Yes, it's been a wild and crazy summer that was far too short.
Far too short.
I'm looking forward to an amazing BIMThoughts fall and 1 or 2 pumpkin spice lattes.
Right.
Keep an eye out in future episodes for a CEO of a makerspace.
Yes.
A Canadian BIM technology consultant.
Yes.
And someone that did a lot of really cool scanning work and bringing that into the BIM environment. So we got some cool stuff coming down the road.
We do. And I hope we do more of these panels too. They're fun.
They are.
Okay. So thank you everyone for listening. If you made it this far, I'm very, very proud of you. If you've listened to every BIM Thoughts, then I'm extremely proud of you and wondering why. But glad you did. And we'll talk to you again real soon.